Let's get to Jags-Bills. Super fun game. I had never been to Tottenham Stadium. It was amazing. I saw that. Hamilton, what were some of the random jerseys we saw? Terrence West Ravens jersey. Are you kidding? We saw all these. Everyone has like their big Bears presence. Lots of Bengals. Lots of Bengals love in there, and well-deserved, and we'll get to that, of course. A lot of Niners fans, and that's the fun part. And it's great because it's just a magical experience. And the NFL has this down. They roll in, they figure it out. Jags, of course, your back-to-back weeks. That's a storyline everybody, even Commissioner Roger Goodell, was talking about. But the atmosphere was electric. The fans showed up on both sides. A lot of blue in the crowd. But the Jags are like, hey, we're an AFC contender. Guess what? We're doing this on an international stage. Early morning, they're in the States. It wasn't the cleanest game. And Jacksonville definitely had some missed opportunities. They dropped a touchdown. There were 2 fumbles while they were in field goal range. There were some costly penalties as well. But the Jags offense did move the ball up and down the field. I just kept hearing Travis Etienne. He kept getting the ball. And Trevor Lawrence looked amazing. Let's put this into perspective for you from the Bills' vantage point, who they're supposed to have this stout, tight defense, right? The Jags' 474 total yards, the 4th most that this Sean McDermott defense has given up since 2020. The Jags had the ball for over 38 minutes in this one. Hamilton kept texting me. We weren't sitting next to each other across the stadium and going, oh my God, they get them off the field. It won't happen. And the longest an opponent that's controlled the clock against Buffalo, you guys, in 5 years. Are you understanding? Trevor Lawrence was like dot, keep moving the ball, moving the chains. If this was the Toy Story game, that slinky dog would have just kept moving up the damn field. I don't know, sore just now. This is a huge development, okay? He looked really sharp. He had a somewhat slow start to the season. We weren't saying his name much on Up and Adams. And this is the type of performance that you expect to see from somebody who's in the preseason MVP conversation. Etienne, as I said, 136, 2 scores on the ground as well. The Jags doing this a week after this explosive Dolphins offense, completely lost. I mean, they looked insane and lost against this Bills defense, which is pretty damn impressive. Do you have something to add? Hamilton, of course, a big Jags backer, so I can't even imagine you at this game.
It was intense.
Just kidding.
I'll slide in here.
Oh, okay. All right, Collinsworth.
There you go.
Collinsworth, would you see that proposal talkie, that whole bit that he did on the air yesterday? I loved it. I hate in-stadium proposals, but he made me like them more only if he does the play-by-play for them. Go ahead.
But yeah, the Jags defense, too, on the other side of it.
Talk to me.
That interception by Darius Williams in the 4th quarter was one of the coolest interceptions I've ever seen. And, while the Bills had their drives where they moved the ball a little bit, too, especially late in the game, I thought the Jags defense really stepped up big time, too.
What was that interception? That was his Stephon Diggs?
Yeah, he just rips it right out of Stephon Diggs' hands. I think we have the play. Oh, here we go. Just look at this.
Ow!
Snatches it right out of his hands. That's as good as it gets right there. And they just made plays all day long. Every time they need to come up with a big stop, they were able to do it. Got a little dicey at the end, but again, I think that's what makes this team really dangerous in the AFC. Is they can get it done on both sides of the ball.
I left early, no surprise there by anybody who's ever met me or knows me. I had to get out of there. And what did you make of the experience?
It was a 10 out of 10. The Bills fans, as you said, really showed out. It was a Bills home game, technically, so they really showed out, though. And there were Bills fans from Canada here, from Buffalo, from the UK. They came from everywhere. They were amazing. And, yeah, the atmosphere was just awesome. The rooster on the rooftop of Tottenham Stadium, that's a nice touch.
Could you tell that I'd had 2 beers when I walked in here today?
Honestly, you did a good job holding it together. I had no idea. I had a feeling when Richard asked you if you wanted a pine, and you're like, I don't know if that's such a good idea.
Yeah, I had 2 beers. Here's my 3rd. Zach Moss had 2 touchdowns.
He did.
He almost had 3, I'm sure, as we were going to talk to him, because he's like, I came on the show. I'm so tired. I'm hitting the cryo chamber, and you 2 idiots are sitting there talking about the Jags. I believe the Jags are the Week 6 opponent. For Jacksonville as well. So you scram and let me welcome in. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest Up and Adams content right on YouTube.